Hey guys, mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome to my YouTube channel with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be doing another video for CAIT SITH, as we know he is coming out in a few days upon the making of this video to the global version of the game called CAIT SITH, Why You So Glorious? So this is playing off of my video series for fun or for glory, which used to be called good or not good. But we know that CAIT SITH is a very, very good character. So we're going to talk about why he is so good. So, what does CAIT SITH bring to Global upon his release? Best offensive support for the party. He's essentially like Saz 2.0. So you guys remember when Saz came out with his 35 CP out of nowhere and everybody used him because he allowed party members to dish out large amounts of damage because he had high percentage buffs for attack and max brave? Well, essentially CAIT SITH does that, but CAIT SITH does it better. And he also provides sustainability for your party. So not only does he increase the damage output of your party, but he also gives you Brave and HP regen, so it allows survivability for both your Brave and your HP, so protecting you from potentially getting broken, and also protecting you from potentially dying as far as taking HP damage. And then he has Brave Overflow for large amounts of damage with his offensive ability where he actually deals damage. And we're going to get into that percentage when we talk about that ability. And his auras are actually really good too. So his level 50 passive is called Moogle Fever. So whenever he has at least 2 buffs or more on him, he gets an increase to his initial Brave and max Brave. And the base on that is at 15% because you can manipulate that with artifact passives. And then he also has buff, attack, and boost with level 58, which gives him a 40% increase to his attack and max Brave. So this character, not only being support, can actually dish out some pretty large amounts of damage, and that Brave Overflow just makes it all the better. He's very versatile because he can be used in numerous team setups. So as far as damage dealers go, sometimes in order for them to perform at their best, you want to stick them in particular party setups where they have characters that complement them. Well, CAIT SITH honestly complements almost every character in this game. I honestly want to say he complements every character because he makes every character very good, he makes him hit harder, and he allows him to survive. So this character can literally be stuck onto any different party set or any party setup that you could think of. And then finally, even without his gear, and I know you guys might be saying like, but wait, characters perform better with their gear. Yes, but CAIT SITH is a character where if you happen to be unlucky with pulling his gear, if you take a look at the base versions of his abilities, they're still really, really good. And he could still allow your party to survive and deal as much damage even without his gear. Now, obviously, he will perform better with his gear, but the reason why I mention this is that this makes this unit a very free-to-play friendly unit. And we know we're also getting weapon tokens upon CAIT SITH's release, so if you happen to not pull on his banner, you can always save up your weapon tokens and then use those weapon tokens to be able to get his gear. So we're going to talk about his abilities and go into a little bit of a deeper analysis as to what they do and their percentages that they provide. So his first ability is called Toy Soldier. This is going to be his offensive ability where he actually deals damage. So this ability progressively gets stronger with more total party buffs. So the way CAIT SITH works is that both of his abilities do get better versions of themselves whenever your party total buffs are at a certain specific amount, and each of his abilities have 2 additional versions that are just better than the other. So with Toy Soldier at its base, it deals a total of 200% Brave damage output, and then when it gets to Toy Soldier Plus, it's at 240%, and then at Toy Soldier Plus Plus, which is the most powerful version, is at 270%. And then all variants, when you have the level 55 passive unlocked for CAIT SITH, have a Brave Overflow of up to 150% of his max Brave. And this is why I say this is a very large percentage just for a base ability. That's really, really good. So very good that he has this. And it also grants CAIT SITH a 60% physical attack up, which allows him to improve the damage that he deals with his ability, and he deals AoE HP damage as long as CAIT SITH's Brave is at least 100% of his max Brave after he uses the ability. Now, it is divided evenly. It's not like Squalls where it's splash, but if you're using this on a single target mob, they're going to eat the full amount of HP damage, and if you get lucky and hit the overflow, well, that's even more damage right there. So that is going to be Toy Soldier. It is a very powerful ability. Great that they gave CAIT SITH a way to actually deal damage on top of supporting the party offensively. So his next ability is called Mog Dance. This is going to be his support ability. So Again, same thing like Toy Soldier. This progressively increases now in potency with the buffs that he provides with more total party buffs. It grants Brave to the party based on 50% of Cait Sith's max Brave. Now, you have to take into account that you have the level 60 passive unlocked for this, but essentially this ability is a Brave battery, 50% of Cait Sith's max Brave. So imagine if his max Brave is like at 20,000 currently in battle, and then you use this. That's 10k Brave to everybody, and on top of that, it grants a unique buff called Cheerful Gift. Now, Cheerful Gift is a framed buff, so it cannot be pushed off, it can only be dispelled, and this improves a party's attack by 20%. It grants Brave regen based on 40% of initial Brave, and HP regen based on 8% of max HP for 9 turns. So that's just one unique buff right there, giving you all 3 of those benefits, which is amazing. You have your offensive capabilities with the attack by 20%, and then you have the sustainability with the Brave regen and the survivability with the HP regen. And to top it off, when you get to the better versions of Mog Dance, he also will grant 60% max Brave up and 30% attack up to the party for 9 turns, and this is on top of Cheerful Gift. So if you think about it, that's a 50% attack increase on top of a 60% max Brave up, and you get the regens on both HP and Brave. So that's insane. That's really, really crazy. And then finally, he also changes his Brave attack to Brave Attack Plus, and this Brave attack grants Brave to the party based on 20% of the user's max Brave. So he has another way to provide Brave as a Brave battery with his Brave Attack Plus. So overall, an amazing support ability right there. Now, as good as Cait Sith is, he does have his pros and cons, okay? So he's not a perfect character. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what his pros are. So his pros are, again, he is flexible across all types of teams, and damage dealers especially will love him. So you Squall fans, you guys that like to use Vaughn or Terra or even Thancred, they're gonna love Cait Sith because they're just gonna be dealing way more damage as far as Cait Sith being an offensive support on the party. High percentages on buffs to party, so 60% max Brave up, 50% additional to attack, and even the regens are actually not bad on their percentages. 40% for the Brave regen based on initial Brave, and then 8%. I know 8% doesn't sound like it's a lot for the HP regen, but if you think about it, you're getting 8% of your HP back per turn, so that's actually pretty good, and that's for 9 turns. And then he pairs well with other batteries for his Toy Soldier HP damage requirement. And the reason why I say this is there's going to be times where Cait Sith may not reach at least 100% of his max Brave when he deals damage with Toy Soldier. So pairing him with another Brave battery in your party will help him reach that faster, which is why I mentioned that he pairs well with other batteries. And then the regen on both Brave and HP ensures, again, survivability and potentially avoid being broken. Now, what are this character's cons? So like I said, he's not perfect. He relies on total party buffs to utilize the best variants of his abilities. So he does essentially need to set up. Now, if you factor in his weapon passives, if you have both of his weapon passives, his abilities already start on their plus variants, meaning that you don't even need to start off with the base versions. But this character does still need to set up, which I guess you could say this is kind of what slows him down a little bit because he essentially needs turns. But it's not too much of a con, but it still is there for him. And then his attack stat, his base attack stat is just decent, so it's not the greatest. So this does affect the damage output of Toy Soldier because, again, like we said, he needs to reach 100% of his max Brave at least, so he deals that HP damage. But this could easily be alleviated if you stick on some good artifact passives on him. And then he only damages melee-wise. He's only melee Brave damage, so you could say that if he's up against a very difficult enemy that resists melee damage, this could hurt him damage-wise for himself. So those are going to be his pros and cons. So some final thoughts in regards to this character and some tips. So again, using artifacts such as Attack plus 108, Mog Fever 2-star, Mog Fever up 2-star, and Toy Soldier power-up will greatly assist him in being more effective as a powerful offensive support. You want Attack plus 108, so then that way you can easily hit 100% of his max Brave with Toy Soldier. Mog Fever up 2-star because you want a general increase on his initial Brave and max Brave with that passive. And then Toy Soldier power up because it is his damage dealing ability, and you want to make sure he's dealing as much damage as possible, so you're hitting that HP threshold to deal that HP attack. And then I'm also going to say as a tip, Selfie is going to be the best support to pair him with. And this was already talked about for those of you that play the JP version of the game. She actually complements Cait Sith well because Cait Sith is an offensive support, and then Selfie, is defensive. Selfie provides that initial Brave up to the party, She also is a Brave battery, and she reduces the amount of Brave damage they receive with her wall. So in a sense, her buffs don't conflict with Cait Sith, so they work very, very well together. And to top it off, Selphie also has a heal. So you have the HP regen from Cait Sith, and then you have Selphie with a drain. So what more could you ask for as far as survivability if you pair them up together? Alright guys, well that is going to be my video on Cait Sith, Why You So Glorious. He's an amazing character, definitely a must pull if you guys are looking to invest in this character. And again, even if you decide not to, he's still really good even without all of his gear passives equipped on him. Alright guys, this is going to be 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Stay tuned for the next video, and mahal everyone.